Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate taking time out of y'all's busy schedule to stop in and see what it is I'm up to. It is Thursday, March 24th, 2022, and we're on the road again. Going to pick up them boys. Going on 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It is 64 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It has been raining until just a couple seconds ago. Humidity is at 92%. 18 degrees Celsius. So I don't know whether to turn the heat on or what at the moment. This thing's saying it's 77 degrees inside the vehicle, so it feels a little crispier than that. I got something chirping at me. Thought it was my phone, but I'm not sure. So anyhow, driving is the hardest part on my neck. Trying to get it recuperated. I'm doing a whole lot better, but by the time by the end of the drive, I was going to say day. By the end of the drive, my neck's all sore and carrying on. Not as bad as it was though. So slowly but surely, just like anything else. And it's kind of like what I was expecting. I knew it was going to take a while, and it wouldn't be instantaneous. Oh, this brush pile over here though keeps calling me. I need to come and look through it, see if there's a nice walking stick with a knob type thing that I can make. I mean, it won't look like a walking stick with a knob, but I have the basis for it. Looks like there's a couple of nice long pieces there. So once I got home yesterday, I mean, it rained. The rain was coming down. I'm sure some of you have seen the video. My son was at the house, and he had been there for a little while. And it's like I said, he can get more done in a half hour than I can get done in a week. And he pretty much had the problem. One problem, which isn't a major problem, but you know, I spend time going through clothes and sorting through which ones are no good, and oh man, traffic tied up again. The problem is I can't see this and go the other way the way I'm driving now. Ugh. At least I left early enough. Oh, that's a sweet old Chevy station wagon. Where was I? Yeah, so I've been going through clothes and had a pile to get rid of, and then there was a pile of dirty clothes and etc. And he just took everything and threw it in one big pile on the bed to get it out of his way, so he can bring shelves in from the front room into my room, which is what we were planning on doing. But yeah, so at the end of the evening, I actually had to chase him out because he brought so much stuff in for me to go through. It's going to take me a week just to get things organized. It took me, I don't know, well over an hour last night just to organize my desk so I can sit down and eat. But I have to go through all those clothes again and sort out, which ones go where, and the blankets I had folded are no longer folded, and he just looks at it like, no big deal, fold the blankets back up. Yeah, that's folding one blanket is like what I do, and then I can't do anymore for a half hour or so until my shoulders calm down. So, but he got a lot done. All the shelving that was in the Chamber of Chaos is now in my bedroom. Most of the stuff that was on those shelves is in there, and then there's other stuff that needs to be accounted for, needs to be rehomed. A bunch of camping stuff and anyway, you got a lot done. So I've got my work cut out for me for the next couple of days, puttering here and puttering there, and going through boxes and figuring out what goes where. That truck did not yield to that little car. I guarantee that it's a problem. Or the car didn't judge the truck enough. And sometimes you have to back off and slide in behind somebody. I know it doesn't seem like I do that very often, but I do. So we rolling again. All right. Wasn't any reason to slow down. They were well off the road. It was just rubberneckers. Didn't even have to move over a lane because they were on the other side of the merge lane. Who knows? So. Nose is running a little bit. Sure, everybody was happy to know that. So yeah, just going through. Like, I went through a couple of things last night. Things that were on the top, and I knew where I wanted to put them right away. Like my Dremel. Pulled the Dremel out of the box and put it with all my other Dremels. Little stuff like that. The pop rivet gun. I just located a couple of the containers of pop rivets, so I wanted, I knew where to put that. Although it's not a permanent place, at least they're together. And then a couple things of like airsoft ammo, the pellets, BB gun pellets, crossbow darts, all that kind of stuff. I didn't realize I had so much of that. It's actually almost filled an entire drawer, small drawer, 12 by 12 by 12, roughly, maybe 10 by 10 by 10. I think it's somewhere in there anyway. But yeah, that's pretty well filled up. I was telling my son that I'd taken most of my crossbows and pellet guns and all that stuff put in a storage bag that went under the bed, although it didn't quite fit. He's like, not all of them. He said, I pulled those in from out the kitchen. He pointed out to a couple that I had sitting out by the front door. Well, I have a problem with feral cats coming in on the porch, and it's not as bad now as it was. But you know, my brother being out there, they're not out there as often. But I can still open the door at night and occasionally find one. They're learning, you know. The airsoft pistol that I use, it's a cheapie. So, well, both of them are. It doesn't have a whole lot of impact. Just a startle factor. Nothing to. It's not going to hurt them. I can shoot myself that close, and it doesn't hurt. It's very inaccurate also. So I often have to hit, around them a couple times, and they turn and look at me, and then finally take off. So anyway, he had found those and brought them back in and had them sitting on my desk. And I was like, yeah, I knew they were out there. They were out there for a reason. Stuff like that. I mean, he doesn't understand. I wasn't there to ask, but a lot of stuff like he just, he doesn't know. Which is, I've said this before. It's easier for other people to pack my stuff up because they don't get sidetracked on it. But by the same token, like I had an old rag mop, a string mop, that I used the all cotton strings as wicks on oil lamps and whatnot. He just saw it as an old mop sitting on the floor amidst all my other art junk, and he threw it away. Which I told my brother not to. I just didn't think to specify to my son. And it's buried too deep in the trash can. I wasn't going to go dig it out. I'd go buy a new one. Same thing with, I had a couple of dog bones. I think they were beef ribs or something that I had picked up at one of the stores with the intention of turning it into a bone knife. And it wasn't all that long ago. So, anyway, he found that and tossed the bones out to the dog. I got out there last night and found the dog chewing on the bone, and I'm like, how did she get that? My brother said JD gave it to her. Really? He'll pick up, and he looks at a small box of wire pieces as junk. Well, it probably is, but I can make all kinds of S-hooks and twisty ties and all kinds of stuff out of a 4 or 5 inch piece of wire, even like a 2 or 3 inch piece of wire. Makes a halfway decent S-hook. Nice stiff wire. So, like I said, it's getting done, and it's none of it's a big deal. If it gets thrown away, it gets thrown away. It's easy to replace. I can go buy those dog bones again for I think I got them at Dollar Tree. So now now they're probably $1.25. But, you know, not a major big deal. Mops at Dollar Tree are not all cotton, so they won't work. A good mop head's going to run like $11 at Walmart, give or take. So that's a bit more than, you know, what I would like to spend. The one I had found washed up and was used it. So let's see what we got for gas. $3.99. They're back up today. I'm doing pretty good on gas this week. So yeah, it's all relevant. Like I said, it can all be, you know, replaced fairly easily. Stuff like the wire, if it gets thrown away, not a big deal. I'll find more. That's where that came from. You know, cords. I've thrown away a lot of cords because I just stop and grab a cord off of a vacuum cleaner or, you know, a lamp post or something like that, or, you know, a light lamp. Some appliances have nice long cords on them, so I'll cut those off. It used to be when I was scrapping, I would keep them all in a big trash can, and when the trash can was full, I would take it up to and turn it into the scrapyard. And usually a trash can full of extension cords, just, you know, it's dirty copper basically. It could be $30, $35, $40. So right now it's not. It's only, I don't know, $15 or $20. So it's hardly worth the effort to stop and cut the cords, and then, you know, keep the cords in one place. So, and even back when I was doing it, it wasn't really worth the effort if that was all you were doing. It was just part of doing everything else. So, let's see what time we got going on here. And I am early. I left early because I had to stop at the office. I have a package supposedly coming in from Amazon, and instead it got dropped off at the mail room. We don't have a mail room. I checked my mailbox. Nothing in the mailbox. Not a key to check anything else. And it didn't come USPS, which usually says, you know, left in mailbox. So I don't know where the mail room is, but I stopped at the office, and of course today is the day that they're there half a day. So I don't know. I guess I can ask my daughter to ask the manager. So I don't have the manager's number. So anyway, they weren't there. So I left early to to do that. I don't usually check the mailbox at, you know, this time of the day. I wait until I'm coming back in. And I very seldom ever have to stop at the office. So I left probably 15 minutes early, giving myself enough time in case I got up there and the gal in the office wanted to yakety yak, which they tend to do. Or which I should say, she tends to do. Her and my brother get along really well because he likes to yakety yak. It was pouring down rain earlier, and I come out and I'm making up my coffee when my brother comes in. He's set up in the house right now because it's been raining. It's miserable, and the front room was pretty well cleaned up, and he had room to sit and spread out and whatnot. So anyway, he was set up in there, and he come walking in the house, and he's got a towel over his shoulder, and he's drying his hair, and it's like, what were you doing? And he said, oh, the cops were out there. Was that eviction? I said, yeah, and he just proceeded to give me a long, drawn-out story. He'd been standing out there for like 20 minutes or better in the rain, talking to this one and that one, and no. Just no. I'm not that interested. I really don't care that the people, were getting evicted, or, that new people were moving in, or any of that. That they actually sold the trailer, which that's kind of interesting. Apparently they sold the trailer for $1,000 as is, and it is tore up. So it's going to take $12,000, $13,000 to get it back into shape, which is what the park would have had to spend to get it back into shape to rent it. So maybe a little bit less, but it'll save the time and aggravation, and keep collecting the lot rent. So it is what it is. It's all good, but it's information that I didn't really need to know. Probably wouldn't have never found out, but anyway, what kind of time are we looking at now? Alright, we're getting close enough. Why didn't that work? Alright, there we go. We're close enough to say thank you for coming along on the ride. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I really do. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs down or thumbs up. Leave me a comment wherever it is y'all leave comments on your internet access device of choice. If you'd like to share me around your social media, that'd be fandoculous. If your loved ones are nearby, give them a kiss and a hug. If they're not, give them a call. Hit them up on Facebook. Let them know you think about them. Let them know you love them. We ain't promised tomorrow, people. We ain't promised our next breath. So I see y'all again. I hope you have a fandoculous day. Sláinte, y'all.